Hi Pontiac Art Center friends. Today we're going to be making the rose wreath. So in the coming up video I'm going to take you through step by step on how to create this beautiful rose wreath for your home. In your kit you're going to have some pink roving. There'll be 3 sections divided into 4 pieces each section to make the petals. So with that in mind, just keep your fingers outside of the needle so you don't poke yourself. Have fun, and if you get stuck, give me a call. I'm here to help you. Thanks so much. Have fun making the wreath. Hello. Today we're going to be making this beautiful rose wreath. Let's get started. Pull from your kit the green wreath, the brown roving, your pink roving, your green rovings, your mat, and your needles. The first step is to cover the styrofoam wreath in the brown roving. Take one of the needles and begin felting the brown roving into the styrofoam wreath, anchoring it in place. You can see it's pretty secure. Wrap the brown roving around the wreath. Periodically felting the roving into place. Continue wrapping until the entire wreath is covered in roving. Do some finishing touches. Take the needle and felt any loose fiber. And now you can see you've completed a beautiful rim. And now we're ready to make the rose. To make the rose, we're first going to create a series of petals. We'll make some large, medium, and small. To make the petals, take out your mat and run the pink roving through your fingers. And we're going to pull off about a 3-inch segment. Fold the segment in half and then pinch it at the base. Set it down on your mat and begin to felt where it's pinched. Notice that I'm moving the needle back and forth in the same direction. If I do it at odd angles, I risk snapping the needle. So keep the movement going in the same direction. Mat the fabric down into a petal shape. Flip it over and begin felting the back side, shaping it into a petal. Okay, now repeat the process. We're going to make 4 of these. You can leave a little bit of the tail at the base of each rose. And now I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 large petals. This is going to be the base of the rose. To make the medium-sized petals, repeat the same process but pull off a smaller chunk. The medium-sized petal will be about half the size of the larger one. Begin felting it into the shape of a petal. Okay, now we've finished the medium-sized petals. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's make the small petals. Take a 3-inch segment but split it in half. Then fold it over. So you'll have about 1/2 the size of the medium, and then double again for the large. So that's your proportion. Okay, so now we've made the 3 small petals, and we have 4 medium-sized petals and the 4 large ones. Okay, now we're going to put them all together to make the rose. To assemble the rose, we'll first make a stem. Pull off about 6 inches of the green roving, fold the ends over, and then begin to felt in place into sort of a dense cord. Now that we've made the stem, we're going to begin to attach the petals. Take one of the small petals, and what I want you to do is fold it in half. Then felt the petal on the tip of the stem. And now we're going to add the other small petals, kind of forming the rosebud, or the inner part of the rose. Begin to felt the petals together at their base, using the stem as your foundation. Now we've felted the small petals together, and you can see it taking shape. Now we're ready to add the medium-sized petals. And what I like to do is layer them over the open ends. And then we set it down on our mat and we felt at the base of the petals. Now let's add the other medium-sized petals. And now we'll add the large petals. I like to space them underneath the opening of the other smaller petals. Now that you've added all the petals, continue to felt around the base, anchoring all the petals into the stem. Keep working the petals at the base of the stem, and then you can flip it over and work it from the top. And now we've created a beautiful, luscious rose. Now let's get ready to attach it to the wreath. You can lay the rose anywhere on the wreath. Wrapping the stem around the wreath, begin to felt it into the foam. Then felt at the base of each petal, anchoring it into place. Keep felting each layer of the rose. And now look, we have created a beautiful rose. Okay, now let's get ready to make the leaves. Pull off 6 to 7 inches of the dark green roving. Twist the top
of the roving and felt that in place. And then begin to stretch the fibers out as you felt, creating a long, narrow leaf. And then as you get to the other end, leave a little tail unfelted. We're going to need that later. Flip it over and work the back side. We're going to layer some light green roving to give the leaf more interest. Okay, so now we've created our first leaf and we've left the end of it unfelted. We'll come back to that later. So let's right now lay the leaf in place, wrap it behind the rose, attaching it onto the wreath and layering it over that stem. And then we are going to start felting that down into place. Now where the stem is, just quickly tack that in place, leaving that little extra tail for the other leaf. And you can see how that leaf just took shape. See how easy that was? Now let's make the second leaf. Now we've made the second leaf. Lift that off and we're going to attach it to the other side. Remember, you're making a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind item. No wreath will be the same. And now we've completed making a beautiful rose wreath.